Hey everyone, so we'll be checking out Red Velvet's Irene and Seulgi's Naughty music video. Now I've watched it a couple times already and I am very excited to see a unique concept from a K-pop group. There's a lot of tutting involved, there's a little bit of voguing, but yeah, let's get into it. I like how the color theme here is black and white, and it seems like they're also wearing outfits that are opposite black and white as well. It's almost like showing yin and yang and they're opposite of each other. Now this beginning part reminds me so much of the dance styles of the two Japanese dancers named Ayasato and Bambi. And I got super excited thinking that they got them to choreograph for this dance, which I don't think so, but it got my hopes up and it looks really good. But let me show you why that beginning part reminded me so much of their dance styles. I'll show you a clip of their dancing and their choreography. So here's a short clip of their dances and why it reminded me so much of that beginning part in their dance. So yeah, the beginning part of this dance reminded me a little bit of the dance styles from those two Japanese dancers. But let's continue. They got some finger actions too. Now with tutting is hard in that it's all about shapes, lines, and angles. You gotta be, making sure you hit that 180-degree angle, the 90-degree angles in the elbows and the shoulder and the wrist. Even in the beginning here, where Irene does the one back and forth, it's really important to keep the elbows in line and that it's straight through and parallel to the ground, compared to if it was a little bit, slanted, it won't look as good. You got to really put energy throughout your arms to perform that. Not only that, it's a lot about angles. So keeping that wrist 90 degrees, keeping that elbow up at 90 degrees and 180 degrees, and it's all about shapes and lines. And you have to switch from one to the other. It's a lot of arm strength and you can get really sore in your arms, you can get cramps. I see them doing some finger tutting too, and that's a lot of coordination. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were super sore after this or their fingers were cramping while they're performing this. But yeah. Even that, you got to be able to coordinate and have the coordination to kind of work, and it's a lot of energy, and it really, just trying to do that is cramping up my finger. I can see that Irene has a little bit of double jointed in her fingers right here, a little bit. Yeah, definitely this one is a little double jointed. It's when you can kind of see it's not a straight line, and it kind of does a overextended fingers. Yes, the hair flips. Even here you can see how just getting this angle, the shoulder and the elbow, it's hard. You have to be able to, involve it's not just about arms, it's all about your back and the scapula behind your back. It has to be involved in, performing those actions and those dance moves. And seems like Irene is hitting it a little bit better in terms of the shapes versus Seulgi here, who, it's not as 90 degrees as compared to her. And to be able to hit that 90 degrees, you gotta turn in your whole shoulder so that you can get that whole 90 degrees pictures. Versus like if you don't involve your shoulders, you'll end up getting this picture that's not as good as if you just turn it in. It's a nice flat picture, and I'm really turning my shoulders in to get that picture. From here, if I just do it here, it's not as good. Versus here, and I turn it in, you can see like the whole line of it too. And for them to also do the arm movement with the legs, that's a lot of coordination. Whew, that was a lot. There's a little bit of voguing, but mostly tutting in there. Even like the hands here, those ones, the wrists and the fingers are the hardest one to get in tutting, because if you're not careful, you know, again, we want that 90 degrees, that 180 degrees in the hand, and then 90 degrees in the wrist. And if you're not careful with that, you can end up putting too much energy through your hands and end up cupping your hands, and it'll end up looking like this instead of this. It's not as a good shape compared to having it flat right here. And it's a lot of being flexible too in your joints and your muscles, because if you can't get here, then you can only get to here. It's not as visually appealing as if it was completely down here. And as a lot of joint mobility, joint flexibility, but also muscle, because this muscle has to be flexible so that you'll be able to get all the way down to 90 degrees. And the other way, this way is actually a lot harder because you have to stretch the muscles over here. And if that's tight, you might only able to get here and not all the way down. So being flexible really helps in making this tutting a lot more visually appealing and good. Right here, she nailed that one. Look how that shape looks really good. Woo! That was a lot of finger action. Finger tutting. Right there. Here, you have to coordinate that and control the finger to go to here. That's a lot of you have to actually move your body to create that shape. That's crazy. Whew. Like right here, sometimes they don't hit that full 100 degrees and end up cupping their hands. That one looks really good. This one is a little bit harder to get the 90 degrees since her hand is wrapped all the way around. And it's interesting how her thumb is like that. Usually you want it flat and not in front. But yeah. I also like how the camera angles help emphasize the dance. It actually helps, zoom in the correct time, correct dance move to kind of emphasize the beauty of the dance. Whoever filmed this, definitely knows how to film dances. That shot was really cool. I wonder how they did that, because she has to stand right in front of the camera to do that. See how there's a lot of finger moving and coordinating, and you can get really bad cramps on your fingers. And I like how they do the walking one from there. How did they do it? From here, oh my gosh, here to go here. So you have to kind of actually put this, stay where they are, and then move the other hand. Oh my gosh, this is really hard. I'm like shaking a little bit. You want to put this here and over here. Oh my gosh, that's really hard. Right there, oh my gosh. I can already, just by looking at her doing the shoulders, my shoulders hurt already. Right here, that one. Oh my gosh, you gotta do both arms at the same time. That's like to be able to hit that shape. It's really good. And turning it in from here. Wait, I gotta try this. Just trying to do this. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. It's a lot of like turning your shoulder in to get that shape, and then you have to switch. You have to keep your shoulders there and then turn for that. I'm actually kind of hunched back to be able to get that shape to go. Huh. And then in. Oh my. Ah. Oh, I feel it in my shoulders already. That hand. Oh, man. Really, props to whoever choreographed this, and for Irene and Seulgi learning this. It's a lot of coordination and memorizing, you know, what step goes after what, which wrist bends and which elbow straightens for the next move. And they must have practiced this a lot of times because it's hard to be able to remember all of the dance and also sing at the same time. I feel like they have to practice this multiple times to the point where their body just memorizes it, and it's mostly just muscle memory for them so that they can, you know, focus more on singing. Whoever, props whoever thought of this concept. And I like how they gave them a little bit break here and did a little bit more, you know, other dances besides the arms, involving a little bit more of the lower body. Ooh! Ooh, that was probably my favorite part in this whole dance. See what I mean? How it's a lot about the shapes and the angles here. See, it has to be 90 degrees, they're parallel. This is a straight line. Just a little bit more difficulty with that right wrist to get 90 degrees. You gotta involve the fingers too to curl up and do it. That's a lot of coordination and muscle. And I like how that little spin, small spin here, accentuates and accents the lyrics and the melody. Yes, oh my gosh. I also forgot to mention that the stylist chose a very good decision in terms of using long sleeves for them, because long sleeve just gives, you know, brings the eye's attention to it. It gives you a clear line of the shape and the dance move. I want to slow that down and see how it looks. No, we gotta go 0.5 speed for that. Goes this way. Even having the arms overhead, it's a lot more visually appealing if it's all the way straight instead of like angled upwards. So you almost have to like place it, either reach and over and place it on top of your head, or kind of have to shortcut it and put it in front of you to get that straight line. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That's just a lot of moves to memorize. It goes here, in. See, it's hard because it has to keep the elbows to the side. From here to here. To down up here. To go down here. Oh my gosh. What the hell am I doing? Right here. Take it. Yeah. That, I think this is going to be hard to learn through the video. It'll be a lot easier if the choreographer was there teaching you. And it's also really good in that they're actually not repeating a lot of the moves. I mean, you know, essentially it's similar. It's just kind of mixing and matching the different angles and the shapes. But for them to actually do a whole dance of this that's not repeating too much, it's really hard. And man, they're really good. Now, I personally like Seulgi in Red Velvet more because of her stage presence and her dance. But Irene is also killing it in this dance. Like my eyes are going more towards Irene than it is in Seulgi, which, you know, it's really surprising for me. So good job, Irene. Hit it, yes, and pose. See, it's all about that shape, all about it. Your hands should be facing that way, not towards us. But yeah, good job, Seulgi. Good job, Irene. This is a lot of coordination, a lot of memorization of what comes next after, you know, the wrist. Is it the elbow extends and then you bend the wrist? It's like a lot of coordination and thinking. You have to kind of have that mind-body coordination, that muscle memory to be able to dance this and sing at the same time. Wow. Good job. Good job, I love it. Yes. Man. Alright. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know down in the comments what other groups you want me to check out, and I'll see you next time. Bye.